All right, we are back for week 4 of debriefing the artist's way. It has been a crazy week. I've been filming these on Sundays, but I did not have time yesterday, and I know next week I'm not going to have time Sunday either, so I might just start doing them on Mondays. This week was a whirlwind for me. I feel like for the first few weeks I was kind of like waiting for things to change, like wanting to be busier, and then this week it was like boom, everything is happening, buckle up, let's go. You're going to be balancing a lot. And a word that has come up a lot for me this week is recalibration. I feel like my brain and my body are trying to like sync up to each other and find that rhythm again. And like that can feel stressful at times, but I also know that there were moments where I was waiting for these opportunities that have come my way, and I'm gonna get used to it and it's gonna be okay. I started my new job last week, and I'm also balancing other jobs on the side, and then obviously my main priority and my main passion is music, but I also know that I really want to take my time with my music, and I don't want to like rely on it right now. I want it to just be a passion and fun and something that I can put my heart into. And I also know like what my strengths are and what I'm really good at, and so why not focus on that? So this week was about recovering a sense of integrity. I feel like I've been putting off filming this, if I'm being honest, and my brain is just like very scattered. So if I seem like kind of disorganized, I am. I'm like usually a very organized person. I write everything down. I, keep my schedule like snappy. But I've been, having days where I physically can't get everything done. And I've been kind of like just dealing with that, putting things off until the next day and then getting them done. Like, I don't know, I guess I'm just doing what I have to get things done, to be like the best version of myself that I can be. And you can only get so much done in one day. There's only 24 hours in a day, and I feel like if you can prioritize things, block out your day in a way that makes you be efficient, like claps for you, pat on the back, you're doing a good job. As far as the book, it says this week may find you grappling with changing self-definition. The essays, tasks, and exercise are designed to catapult you into productive introspection and integration of new self-awareness. This may be both very difficult and extremely exciting for you. Warning, do not skip the tool of reading deprivation. I definitely felt that with the introspection and integration of new self-awareness. Like, for how stressed I felt last week, I look back and I got so much done. I released my new song, Ambiguity, go stream it. That was on Friday. I also announced the opportunity that I talked about a couple videos ago, which is that I'm going to be in a pageant, and I'm representing the state of Idaho, which is huge and amazing and awesome, and I'm so excited. And I feel like based on all of the work that I've been putting in for the last few years, this makes sense for me and it feels right, and it's going to be a lot of work and a lot of prep over the next few months, but I'm really excited for it. And then the new job. So I've been incorporating like more stability into my routine, which I feel like was much needed, and also pouring into the things that I love. So one of the big things that it talks about in the beginning is that your morning pages help you process your emotions. I did my morning pages every day this week, which was hard at times and felt really good at times, but it's one of those, like, what's the saying? Stick to the plan, not your mood, because even on days where I was struggling, I felt better after I wrote, and on days that I was feeling good, I felt even better after I wrote. So it kind of is like you can't lose in that situation. It talks about how the pages help you process extreme emotions, and they're kind of like spiritual chiropractic work. So they help you figure out where you're misaligned, and by writing things down every morning, it helps slowly point you in the right direction. I highlighted this. It says, as we clarify our perceptions, we lose our misconceptions. As we eliminate ambiguity, we lose illusion as well. We arrive at clarity, and clarity creates change. I also wrote, art allows you to take what you're feeling and make something out of it. And by sharing that with people, you're kind of releasing that and letting it go, and you can move on, which is, I think, a very beautiful thing. I really am not feeling like getting too into the book this week. I feel like if you or somebody else watching this and you're interested in reading the book, you should just go and do it. If you're watching the week 4 video, like, maybe you're interested by chance. And if you're me watching this in the future, I will just tell you the important parts. This week it talks about emotional pyrotechnics, so just experiencing very strong, heavy, weighted emotions and processing those. I think one thing for me that was big to note last week was every day felt so long. Like, I feel like this sounds like dumb, but at the beginning of the week, I felt very different than how I felt by the end of the week. And it's a hard thing to explain until you've experienced that, but like, things were just changing so rapidly that I'm like, whoa, I need to like sit with this and like process this for a minute. So Saturday I did just have a super chill day, kind of just like slowed down to speed up, gave myself a chance to just rest, relax, and then I ended up thinking of things that I needed to do, kind of let my mind like recover. So that felt really, really good. It says, you are no longer stuck, but you cannot tell where you're going. I also wrote, it is normal to feel tired. Learn how to rest in motion, and write it down on the page. Writing it down will lead you forward and give you a place to recuperate from your forward motion. It also says just to write the promises that you make to yourself and to God. I think that's super important. And some of the things I wrote were, I receive your good willingly, I trust my perceptions, and a stronger and clearer me is emerging. And if there's one where when you're writing it, you kind of feel weird about writing it, write it 5 times, write it 10 times, write it until you can figure out why that makes you uncomfortable, if that makes sense. Did an exercise on buried dreams. So list 5 hobbies that sound fun, list 5 classes that sound fun, list 5 things you personally would never do that sound fun, list 5 skills that would be fun to have, list 5 things you used to enjoy doing, list 5 silly things you would like to try once. And then in your free time, pursue some of those things that you wrote down. You can come back to it later if you have time this week. Go ahead. It's up to you. You could do one of them as your artist date for the week. And then the final part, which was like the biggest part of this chapter, was reading deprivation, which is just no reading for a week. I think the first time I read this, that was a little bit more impactful because I was reading a really good book, but I just recently started a new book and I'm not super into it yet, so I didn't mind taking a break. But I did allow, when I could, I allowed myself time to just be bored and see what thoughts come to my head. Like, obviously I was very busy and didn't have much time, but I think in those moments where I would have probably picked up my book, I kind of redirected that energy to other places. I didn't really read any of the quotes, so let me see. Okay, here's a good quote. It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult. Do something that makes you feel insecure. All you need to do to receive guidance is to ask for it and then listen. And then this one goes with the reading deprivation, but it says, we're always doing something, talking, reading, listening to the radio, planning what next. The mind is kept naggingly busy on some easy, unimportant external thing all day. Gives you a list of things to do instead of read. I highlighted listen to music, cook, watercolor, work out, meditate, go to dinner, go dancing. Then I highlighted you will run out of work and be forced to play, which I feel like I could do more of, honestly. And then we have our tasks. So I'll just talk about the ones that I thought were the most valuable. One of them was write a letter to you as if you were the 80-year-old version of you. Does that make sense? Write a letter from you at 80 to you at your current age. What would you tell yourself? What interests would you urge yourself to pursue? What dreams would you encourage? And then do the same thing as if you were 8 years old. Throw out an outfit that is low worth. It says in parentheses, you know the outfit. Look at one situation in your life that you feel you should change but haven't yet. What's the payoff in staying stuck? So that was this week. Like I said, I did my morning pages every day. I did not do my artist date, I don't think. It's hard. Like, I feel like I do things for myself without, like, considering it an artist date. Honestly, I wanted to go to the fruit stand as my artist date last week, and I did not do that. So maybe this week, but also probably not this week because I don't want the fruit to go bad. So maybe next week. This week, I am going on a little mini vacation. So I guess that's my artist date. Did I experience any synchronicity this week? Okay, one thing I have been trying to do more of is just go for a walk outside, whether it's 15 minutes, 30 minutes. Sometimes if I have calls to make, I'll go for like 2 hours. But every time I go for a walk outside, I always find something interesting on my walk. Like, I found this painting of the world in the middle of a garden, and it was really pretty. And today I went for a little walk during my lunch break, and I found a sign for a lost unicorn. So I feel like it's just like little things you wouldn't see if you didn't just get out there a little bit. And the area surrounding you is like probably a lot bigger than you think when you're walking on foot. Like, you're not going to walk the same path twice, and you're going to see something new every time you walk. So I've been enjoying that. Excuse me. Any other issues? Just balance. Like, I feel like it's going to take a little bit of time to adjust to all these new wonderful things going on, but I'm excited and I'm willing to take that time and just be the best that I can be at what I'm doing. So now we're on to week 5, and week 5 is about recovering a sense of possibility. Long story short, you will explore how you curtail your own possibilities by placing limits on the good you can receive. You will examine the cost of settling for appearing good instead of being authentic. You may find yourself thinking about radical changes, no longer ruling out your growth by making others the cause of your constriction. And that's week 4. Definitely the most significant week for me so far. Yeah, it felt good. I really enjoy doing my morning pages. I think that has been the most helpful thing for me. And it's week 4, but I already did this once. So technically it's week 16. I don't even know who I was when I first started. Like, I was still awesome and fun and cool, but I definitely felt creative blocks, and I felt a lot of fear, and I didn't know exactly what was next. And now I'm out here talking about a 5-year plan, which I've never had in my life. And of course, things can change, but now I feel like I have an idea of where things are going and where I want things to go, and the control that I do have over that. So I feel a lot more well-rounded and calm and just genuinely excited for each day. And I think that's a blessing, and that's beautiful, and something I don't take for granted. So here's to another week. I'm excited, and I'll check in next Monday. Here we go.